We installed this e-stop system 5 years ago now, and had it on the boat, as most people do, and wondering whether we did a good thing or a bad thing or just complicated our lives. And it turned out we didn't really complicate our lives, but we did prevent ourselves from having a terrible thing happen. We were actually ready to pick up the gear, so we'd handed off the purse line, started pulling the purse line on the deck winch.
We have a skiff coming around, handing off the purse line, and so this situation, Pat, the skipper, grabbed the purse line, put the wraps on the deck winch, just like any other set. We had the block line coming over the top, and at the time it was slack, and then the deckhand had actually unclipped the net, which started to bring the block line really tight, and that deckhand stepped over the block line as the net was going tight.
And as we pulled the block line tight, a person was crossing the deck and they stepped over it, and it actually picked them up and carried them into the deck winch.
As the line goes tight, it catapults the deckhand over the deck winch, and I'm on the other side running the hydraulics. I didn't see the deckhand coming head first over the deck winch right at me.
I was actually at the rail. I reached over and hit the E-stop. It stopped. Their feet were already off the ground, so they completely rolled over the top of the deck winch onto the deck without injury, which is great. And we were able to keep on going and not have a big tragedy, which was exactly why we put it on in the first place.
Right away, we started hauling the gear some more and got back into a rhythm. And then once it was all over, you realize how dangerous that could have been.
In this case, these deckhands, these people are more or less my family, on this boat. And so it's not just an incident, it's not just a statistic, it's not just an insurance payment, it's not any of that. It's actually one of the young people in your life that really can be your kids, and often are your kids. My son-in-law was on deck at the time, right? So the ramifications of tearing somebody's arm off or killing them, for instance, that's something you'll live with for the rest of your life, and in a much more meaningful way than most people would ever want to have visited on their life.
Knowing that a boat has an e-stop, or just being able to see one, it at least gives you the confidence that if something happens, you're able to stop it. If something doesn't look right, or someone's foot is wrapped up, even if you're new, you can hit it and just prevent anything from happening.
We thought of it as safety in the beginning, and in terms of industrially, often you reserve e-stops for just e-stops and you have control. And what we found is that actually it's an excellent control button, and it actually improves the safety in the sense that it gets muscle memory there, right? Whereas you just reach out and whack that thing if anything looks wrong. And one of the problems with gypsy winches is the dynamics of the line running into it. Any little hairball or anything can beehive these things up. So actually being able to stop it where it is without going backwards or forwards actually turns out to be a pretty useful device to have from a very mechanical operational standpoint. You still operate almost exactly the same way or by choice. So it's not an additional thing that you have to go do all the time and things like that. And I think that's the biggest fear that people have. And then the second one is getting over the complacency that because I haven't had an accident yet, I'm not going to have one. I've been doing this for a long time, but I don't hire 55-year-old people to work on the deck. I hire 20 and 25-year-olds to work on the deck. And if I'm honest and look back, I was pretty cavalier at that age too. But in everything, not just in this, I look at go, wow, how can they not know to stick their foot in the middle of that bite of a line that's going out? But yet they do. They weren't born knowing all this stuff. And we always look at it through the prism of our own eyes, and our own eyes, it's muscle memory to no end for us, but it's not for these guys you bring on the deck, these young people. And they deserve a chance to get there too without learning by losing their leg or losing their arm or whatever like that. And I think you got to think about that this isn't about you, it's about them. And they're in a way different place in life than you are. When they're your age, they probably won't need it either, but they do now.